So I have set myself the goal of earning £50,000 in 1 year by self-publishing a book series. Can I do it? Can I make £50,000 in 1 year? Let's see. So this is part 3 of the locations, the real locations that are mentioned in my book, The Half Dead, especially books 1 and 2. So in book 2, our heroes team up with this dwarf called Shady and his mother. He lives in a scrapyard which is situated under the A19 flyover, right on the edge of the city, and it's on the banks of the River Wear. This is where the scrapyard is supposed to be, but in reality, if you drive under the bridge, it's just this like dirt track, and it leads to this particular property and a private road. I didn't go up here, so I don't know exactly what's up here, to be honest, because obviously it's a private road. Then from there, our group makes their journey back to the city centre using the Spire Bridge, which is this huge suspension bridge. And I feature all 5 of the. I actually feature all 5 of the bridges that exist in Sunderland in the series, so they're seen at one time or another throughout the first 4 books that I've got. Now, once they get to the city, they pass the Charlton's pub, which is actually there, as you can see, and they turn second left into some industrial areas. So somewhere along here on the right is the fictional warehouse in my story, and that's where the raid takes place. Now, something happens to Lily here, and she runs off down this street, around this corner, and ends up on a disused railway line, which I actually recce'd a few years back for a film that I was going to make, but I never made it. But I took a load of photographs, and there used to be a hole in the fence right here, as you can see from these particular photographs I took at the time. And I just thought it was an absolutely amazing location for a film with all of this graffiti and just all of these. There was lots of little tracks like this and little kind of places to hide and to film in. It looked absolutely amazing at the time, you know. So I won't spoil it for you, but something happens at this particular location and someone falls from one of these high walls. Then later in book 2, our team have to go to Sunderland Royal Hospital using the exact same entrance here. And there's bodies and blood everywhere, and the whole place is looking like a war zone. Then we move from there, and at the end of the book, there's a scene at Shotton Airfield, which is a few miles just outside of Sunderland. So at this point, our group are kind of making their way out of the city, making their journey off towards London at this particular point. I have been to this airfield when I was in my 20s, and I did a parachute jump from this particular airfield because this is actually a flight school. And this here is the very plane that I describe in book 2. So when I was writing the book, I did some research on the airfield, and I came up with this photo that shows the actual plane that they use for the parachute jumps. So this is the plane that I actually describe in the book that looks exactly like this. So that's books 1 and 2 locations. Now, book 3 actually takes place primarily on the road to London, so I haven't got any actual locations that I can show you, but it does take place in actual relocations a lot of the time on the motorways down to London, and then book 4 takes place primarily in Switzerland and in London, and obviously I can't show you that. Most of the places in Switzerland and some of the other places, like characters go to France as well. So there's some real locations mentioned in France, but the ones in Switzerland are completely kind of made up for the story. So that's it for the location tour. I hope you enjoyed seeing some relocations from The Half Dead. And if you live in Sunderland and you know some of these locations, then give me a shout.